Hey!
Welcome back to the Mimic Commentary. We are on episode 22, where we last left off. Oh boy. We've got Deathroot. We got a Pumpkinhead. First try, Pumpkinhead. The Shamshir and the Blue Dancer. Now, I promised we would talk more about the Blue Dancer, so we're going to hang out in here for a second and try and... Actually, you know, we're going to... No, we shouldn't leave in here. We'll stay in here for a second. The Blue Dancer... The Dancer in Blue... Let's start over. Blue Dancer Charm. A cloth doll depicting a dancer garbed in blue. Okay, dancing. When we see anything with dancing, we should think of this ancient culture. This ancient culture that is underground. The color blue. Blue is kind of spiritual. From our FP bar, glintstone has residual life, where golden amber has primordial life. So we're getting the physical, representing kind of red, the spiritual, representing blue. The mind bar, or the FP bar and the HP bar. Our cerulean flasks and our crimson. Our red and our blue. Unfortunately, I drank all my juice, so no blue. But we're getting blue. We're putting blue to spirits. An ancient heirloom of some sort. Okay, ancient. So this culture, anything that is related to this culture, it's from this ancient tradition. Red, this primordial crucible that, you know, might not be cultural, but it's physical. It's a physical pass down. This is a cultural pass down. So I'm thinking when we see things that are kind of passed down that are red, might just be physical traits that are passed down through the bloodlines. Because, you know, we have beast blood glinting with gold, blood roses, arterial leaves are red, swollen veins. Okay, bloodlines. Things that are passed down through genes. On the other side, you have memes. Cultural, mimetic. The blue. Okay? Okay. The spirit of the world. The dancer in blue represents a fairy. Okay, I don't think we can get anything from that. Now, this is a legend, probably a legend, maybe not literal. Yeah, who in legend bestowed a flowing sword? Flowing, was it like water? Was it a water sword? Or was it how they moved with the sword? Upon a blind swordsman. So we're going to be looking for blindness. Well, we have the prophet eye mask. Our prophet blindfold. Which, you know, if you're blindfolded, you're taking away someone's sight, but allows them to see things unseen, like the future. So a blind swordsman. Interesting. The fairy in blue. The dancer in blue is a fairy. And they gave a flowing sword to a blind swordsman. This is the legend. Blade in hand, the swordsman sealed away an ancient god. A god that was rot itself. We know from I think it's in our keys, the record craft technique left by an armorer who served the great General Radahn. Radahn has his red manes. Contains knowledge of dealing with rot, the application of fire in particular. So fire can deal with rot, but so can blue, so can flowing water in some way. Flowing water can deal with rot. And this ancient god was rot itself. It is rot. To rot is that god. You know, it's not a personification as it stands right now. To rot is the god. That is the god. So if we see things rotting, that is that god. But now we kind of can like tie this water culture that has this ancient legend of a blue fairy. They most likely built the world below. That's why we can see, like, you know, flowing water, you know, this... Or they built the world above, I should say. You know, we have... Well, you know what? Let us... Oh, I have a lot of runes. Let us take a quick detour. So we're by this waterfall, our detours to look at this waterfall. That this culture that was able to that worships this fairy, this dancer in blue with their flowing sword, who bestowed it onto a blind swordsman to fight this god that was rot itself. They created these underground waterways that go out into the ocean. They built this land. Perhaps it was these down there. There's that guy we got gravitas from. You can see him. There he is. He's hanging out by these ruins. Does it say in our Ash of War? I don't want to say things if I don't know it. Oh goodness gracious. I have it on what weapon? I gotta take it off this stick. Alabaster Lord with Skin of Stone. Did the Alabaster Lords, with their gravity magic, did they build this, or were they in conjunction with the people who built this? I mean, if you have the power to manipulate gravity, I can see you building something like this, and building these underground waterways, worshipping a god, a fairy in blue, representing a fairy, the dancer. Wait, oh goodness, the dancer in blue who represents a fairy who bestowed a flowing sword on a blind swordsman. Yeah. Okay? Who fights a god that is rot itself. The god is rot itself. So the god is rot. Rot is the god. Okay? It's not... I'm not just the rot god Tanjamir, and I look like a giant... I'm a giant crab of some sort. I am rot. That's the god is rot. So when we see the rot, that is the god. That's what it says. That's what it says. And we have a lot of runes to use, so we should level up our... Let's do endurance. We're supposed to be doing dex, I think. Dex faith? Let's do endurance and faith. And continue on our journey. This may be our last episode of Limgrave before we venture further ahead. Maybe do Stormvale Castle. Maybe do Shiofra River in the well. We found one of our nomadic merchant friends. A nomad is always on the move. Oh, we can see the Caelid Wilds even better now. Why did I put that there? Oh, I remember why I put that there. Is that actually... we'll see. Is that Redmane Castle? It might be. That looks like a skull. Is that the Bestial Sanctum? Oh, we can see the tower a little bit better. Okay. Let's chat with our friend. Oh, I shouldn't have used our soul. Oh, I have a lot of runes.
Oh, dear. I'm terribly sorry. Are you here as a customer?
All right, what does he have to sell us? Oh, I should sell some of these runes. We need stuff. I think 5,000 should be good. Okay, pickled turtleneck meat. This will teach us. Oh, pickled turtleneck and poison. Oh yeah, so I think I mentioned we had the I was talking about green and power. Red is health. Blue is, mind, FP. And now we're getting a little bit green is power because we have this pickled turtleneck meat. Nutrients churn through the body, practically boiling out endless power. And now in the Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 3, a record of crafting techniques left by a roaming nomad warrior contains knowledge for surviving in the face of utter scarcity. So in the face of utter scarcity, you should be able to know how to pickle a turtleneck in bitter medicine to get endless power and stamina recovery. I guess if you're running through the woods looking for food, hunting, you should be able to cook. But the poison arrow, the poison bone arrows, being in the same cookbook as the pickled turtleneck meat and the Viridian Amber Medallion, which increased stamina, was dropped from the Miranda flower within Tombsward Cave. We're seeing that connection. Green, poison, power. Poison is close to rot. I think the spell Poison Mist says those who dwell in rot know all too well. The poison that begets life, it is rebirth in practice. We'll have to double check. We're going to have to buy that. We're going to buy a pot. A halberd. Long-handled polearm that combines the function of both an axe and a spear. Can be used to press a single enemy with continuous thrusting attacks or sweep your groups, taking advantage of great reach and cleaving blade. Versatile weapon for any situation. A mask of black cloth that covers the mouth. Favored by bandits hiding their face. It also provides some protection against poison. So yeah, this guy's an anti-poison guy. He has it up against his mouth. He doesn't like poison. You know who else doesn't like poison? The dancer in blue, deep below the earth. Nomads are ever moving, like water. And this is from Nomad Warriors, and he's a nomadic merchant. Is there a cultural connection between the nomadic merchants, who have some kinship with the Tarnished of being a people who are kind of scorned, as we learned from Caelid? Let's buy some arrows, too. I'll learn about flame chariots, and I don't have many smithing stones, so I'll buy those too. Short sword, I don't need that. We'll buy this halberd. Why not? Is there some cultural, is there culture passed down to these nomadic warriors, nomadic merchants, and this flowing water? Being a nomad, flowing like water, never stopping, always moving. Don't stagnate, don't rot, don't decay.
I must apologise. I'm afraid I've very little to offer.
That's okay. Let's, how do we look with our bandit mask? Kind of cool. I kind of like this look. Can I use any of the heavier shields? This only has 94? This is more physical. I guess it's the guard boost? I guess it's shield bash. Alright, let's do that. So yeah, maybe there's a connection. Oh, I wanted to check the poison. I'm so silly. I'm sorry, everybody. Those who dwell in poison know rot all too well. Okay, so we're seeing rot, poison and rot. The death that begets life that comes to all equally. That is to say, it is a cycle of rebirth put into practice. And when we think of rebirth, we have also larval tears, being born anew, creature of mimicry. Those who live in death, they can't die. They're kind of reborn into corpses. And we might see some of that now. We have these graveyards here, very different than our typical, these are our typical graveyards. We have our guys with our Sunrealm shields popping up, probably. Now, I shouldn't use the shield because I need to be able to use Sacred Blade. Anyone else popping up? There we go. Those who live in death, there must be Deathroot nearby. Okay, here we have our Sunrealm soldiers. Already have your shields. We know all about you. And this guy has a scythe. I wonder if we can get it. That's black and white. That looks like the Vengeful Spirits. Maybe it's the Ghost Flame being burned in Ghost Flame. Yeah, it's kind of fiery. That might be Ghost Flame. So yeah, we're getting our connections. Here, explode, buddy. And who do we have here? All right. This is why we couldn't go to the Round Table Hold yet, because if you go to the Round Table Hold, you miss out on this interaction, and this is some of the really important dialogue.
There's no mistake, is there? Death has left its mark once again.
He has more to say, so let's wait for it.
I'm sorry. I cannot give you your proper rights, but at least you did not join those who live in death. Your soul will return to the Erd Tree in time. Honeyed rays of gold, deliver this spirit.
Okay, so that was really, really important dialogue. There's no mistake, is there? Death has left its mark once again. I'm sorry, I cannot give you your proper rights. So this is a knight of some sort. I don't think his tabard is something that we've ever seen before. I don't think it's something we'll ever see ever again. It kind of looks like a snake. Or his cloak, I should say, not his tabard. A snake, maybe two snakes wrapped around, coiled. He cannot give them their proper rights, proper burial rights. But at least you did not join those who live in death. So because this person didn't join those who live in death, if we look at them, they have kind of like like thorns or briars around their neck, much like the tarnished who are on the crosses. Your soul will return to the Erd Tree in time. So even though they're not buried into the Erd Tree roots, the soul is probably attached to the body, much like how spirits are attached to the spirit ashes. They're attached to the ashes of the cremated remains. The soul is attached to this body. But in time, it will return to the Erd Tree. Honeyed rays of gold deliver the spirit. So he's kind of doing an Erd Tree prayer. Okay. This is why we couldn't go to the Round Table Hold. We didn't want to miss out on that important dialogue. You did not join those who live in death. Your soul will return to the Erd Tree in time, no matter what. Your soul will return to the Erd Tree in time. Interesting. This illusory tree. Oh, we can see through it and telescope, and then we can... who knows if it's actually really there. Honeyed rays of gold deliver the spirit. So no matter what, people who die, if they don't join those who live in death, no matter where they die, their soul will return to the Erd Tree. Their spirit will return to the Erd Tree. Let's talk to this guy.
Ah, a tarnished, are you? I'm known as D. I hunt down those who live in death and weed their Deathroot. Heed my warning. The village here has been touched by death. And worse yet, it is home to a mariner. If you value your life, then go no further. The village here has been touched by death. Turn back while you still can.
Okay. So on the back of his armor, we see what looks like perhaps two snakes. You see the snakes? His armor is silver and gold. He has his mask, which is gold, but he's holding a blindfolded silver body that's coming out of him. His sword is intermixed with silver and gold. We see two legs and two people, identical, except one's gold, one's silver. And down here, that looks like a teardrop. Now, we're getting more of this connection. We see silver coming out of gold. And when we think of silver, we have silver tears, a core of a creature of mimicry. We fought a man, he was a noble, and then he turned into a bear. That's a tear. Or it's a blood drop. Perhaps it's a tear or a blood drop. We have this golden man with a silver body coming out of him. He's more gold than silver. So the gold is first, then it's silver. And they're blindfolded. And when we think of blindfolds, we should think of prophecy, seeing the future. Why hesitate? The path leading to the future is clear. Just close your eyes and walk. So he was warning us not to go to this town. He told us that his name is D, just the letter D, maybe D for death. D for death. He hunts down those who live in death, and he weeds their Deathroot. Where is the Deathroot? Where is the Deathroot? So he's weeding this. This was being planted in the roots, the death-touched catacombs, to spread it through the great true roots and to create more of those who live in death. So he weeds their Deathroot so there would be less those who live in death. This village has been touched with Deathroot, so heed his warning, because there is a mariner. Not only is there Deathroot, But there is a mariner. If you value your life, go no further. That person that... This is called actually Summonwater Village. Summon water, perhaps summoning the rain, or the water that is throughout this town. We'll have to look at this town and think why it's called Summon Water. But look, we saw the dancer in blue was in a sanctum of water, who fought rot itself. This guy is in a boat. It has spirals, long back chair. It makes you think of the Greek myth, Charon, who you give him a coin and he takes you down the river Styx. Oh, these things, do they have the eyes that we're used to? Yep, I think these have the eyes. Yeah, they have the eyes, so same thing, you could see. So Deathroot spread here, and these eyes can see with the Deathroot. And, yeah, we're this connection with the water. So now we have this connection with water and death. Rot is rebirth put into practice. Wait, what's poison again? Oh, there's so many connections here. Hopefully he doesn't see me. Those who dwell in poison know rot all too well. The death that begets life. Death that begets life. Death that becomes life. Comes to all equally. Is the cycle of rebirth put into practice. Is this rebirth? Well, this is some rebirth put into practice. Here's it being touched by Deathroot. The roots are coming out through the ground. The eyes are everywhere. And here is the mariner. Let's summon... You know what? Let's summon our wolves. Tibia Manor. Tibia like a bone. Alright, where'd he go? There he is. Now, we used our spirit calling bell to call spirits, and he blows into a horn, and what happens? And the dead rise. Isn't that something? What else did he do? Oh, he's summoning some water. So somehow he has the ability to manifest water as well. So I think we're getting a connection between water and death. He's a skeletal man of some sort. He's got ornate gold on him. He has a lantern. He looks like to be a spirit as well, but he has the power to summon spirits with the sound of music, with the sound of a horn, much like our spirit calling bell. What is it? I know we're fighting this guy, but I'm not taking him very seriously, huh? Each a soundless bell used to summon spirits. So yeah, music summons spirits. It's confirmed. That's why he's blowing into a horn. All right. Skeletal man dead. He had gold on him. He was in a boat. There is definitely some ritualistic religious practice with him. Oh, and our friend's back. He is definitely, you know, we were talking about how the Sun Realm. Let's put on our Sun Realm shield. Most of the people we've been fighting, actually, I think every single one of them, they're probably Sun Realm. They do not want to be buried by the Erd Tree. We have the Sun Realm soldiers who are retaliating. We can't really see the sun, especially in a place like this. Very dreary, it's very cloudy, and the Erd Tree blocks out all that light. Why would people want to live in death? Because they don't want to be consumed by the Erd Tree. Perhaps they're sun worshippers. Was Summonwater Village, was this a Sun Realm town? Well, there's a graveyard right up the road. Right up the road, we walk through a graveyard. And actually, when we keep going forward, we'll come across a church. So, I'm seeing the culture. Like, why would people want to live in death? Why would people want to spread Deathroot? There's a lot of enemies to this Erd Tree. We'll explore this town in a moment. So let's talk to our friend, D, hunter of those who live in death.
Another fool who won't listen to reason, eh? But with a prowess for weeding Deathroot. How would you like to earn the strength of beasts? If you're inclined to hunt more of those who live in death and weed their Deathroot, then I'll introduce you to Garank, the beast clergyman. I have a matter of my own to attend to, and the beast himself wishes for someone to take my place. What say you?
Let's refuse him first.
Well, alright then. No sense in forcing you.
Okay, so he's not going to force us. Let's look at his offer again. Another fool who won't listen to reason, eh? Well, his reason was don't fight those who live in death, especially if there's a mariner, because you're just asking for it. But I have a prowess for weeding Deathroot, because we could summon our own spirits, and we got a sacred sword. We're Legend of Zelda out here. How would you like to earn How would you like to earn the strength of beasts? Well, we think of Siraj, the aged counselor of the Golden Lineage, who, if we look at this again, don't succumb to the rounds of battle, fight with passion, but not come prisoner. Their first Elden Lord had the beast Godfrey, or maybe he's the aged. The beast Siraj representing the Golden Lineage. The Golden Lineage had the strength of beasts. They earned the strength of beasts. That guy Bernarl. Well, these eyes are watching us. That guy Bernarl, he has armor, had beasts. We can summon wolves. That's kind of strength of beasts. Blide, the half wolf. He's a beast. He's a half man, or he's a half wolf, half man. And then we have the beast man of Farum Azula. They have the strength of beasts. Primordial Crucible. The power of the Primordial Crucible allows you to manifest its vital energies and get animal parts. That's the strength of beasts too, I think. In some way. If you're inclined to hunt more of those who live in death and weed their Deathroot, to protect the Erd Tree in some way, though I think the damage has already been done, Buster. He'll introduce us to Garank, the beast clergyman. Okay, so beasts have their own religion. And their religion seems, at least this beast clergyman, whoever he might be, Garank, has to probably do revolving the Erd Tree. And anti-death. We don't like things dying. I have a matter of my own to attend to. Okay, he's got his own business. We'll see if we can find out what his business is. And the beast himself wishes for someone to take my place. You're not doing a good enough job, or is he looking for someone in particular? So let's ask him again.
No. Had a change of heart.
Yes.
Very well. Show me your map. I've marked the location for you of a hidden gateway. It will lead you to Garank, the beast clergyman.
And it's right here. Ascending gate behind the Third Church America. There is a Statue of America there. We are not going to go there yet. We're going to wait till we do that.
I have a matter of my own to attend to. I spotted the mark of the centipede here in the village. An ill-omened symbol that should not be. Someone or something threatens the sanctity of the Golden Order and must be eradicated.
All right.
What is it? Still milling about? The map indicates where the gateway is hidden. It will lead you to Garank, the beast clergyman.
This is why we couldn't. If you go to Roundtable Hole too early, you can miss out on a lot of this dialogue. So first, let's look what we got, and then we'll talk more about his dialogue. So we got some Deathroot from the Tibia Mariner. He had Deathroot on him, and he was tooting his horn and summoning those who live in death. On the night of the dire plot, the stolen rune of death enabled the first death of a demigod. Someone stole the rune of death, and that enabled the demigod to die. So without the rune of death, we could not kill a demigod. So someone needed to steal it. Who'd they steal it from? Well, the beast clergyman found at the bestial sanctum in the distant east collects and devours these roots. So this is why D is working, and this is why he wants someone else to take the torch. Get more Deathroot for me so I can eat it. Later, the rune of death spread across the lands between through the underground roots of the Great Tree, sprouting in the form of Deathroot. And if we recall from root resin, the roots of the Great Tree were once linked to those of the Erd Tree, or so they say. And it's for this reason catacombs are built around Great Tree roots. So I think we can see, how did the Great Tree roots get unlinked from the Erd Tree, or the Erd Tree's roots? How did the Great Tree get unlinked from the Erd Tree? Deathroot. It's right there. Very simple. Because the rune of death is going through the underground roots of the Great Tree, we are disconnected from the Erd Tree roots. Great tree roots, Erd tree roots, disconnected because of Deathroot. The rune of death spreading through the roots. We have ulcerated tree spirits. The Erd tree is supposed to consume souls. Honey rays of gold deliver the spirit. It can't. Instead, it's got a tummy ache. It's getting the spirits of the trees are becoming ulcerated, thanks to, most likely, Deathroot. So until we can find a better answer to why the Great Tree and the Erd Tree are disconnected, why there are ulcerated tree spirits, I think we're going to have to say that it's Deathroot. And that makes this Night of the Dire plot very, very interesting. Especially when we consider who are the people who are coming back to life? Who are those who live in death? Well, we have these skeletal militiamen ashes. Ashen remains in which spirits yet dwell, used to summon the spirits of 2 skeletal militiamen. These are the spirits of militiamen who live in death. Militiamen, so they're part of a army that was made of farmers and workers and whoever, not typical trained soldiers, but a military force that was made up of the civilian population. So these were civilians who joined the military to fight. Fight who? Well, we have our Sunrealm shield for our Sunrealm soldiers. So these militiamen most likely were fighting, perhaps, against the Erd Tree. Because why else would these vengeful spirits come back from the dead? The Tibia Mariner. It's kind of like Charon from Greek mythology. Different burial practices. We see that there's graveyards, typical graveyards. That's where these those who live in death come from. They're not being buried into great tree roots. They're not going to the Erd Tree. They have a different culture. This Sun Realm has a different culture than the Erd Tree. And these are the spirits of the militiamen who live in death and will continue to rise again until promptly finished off. This is the grotesque fate of those who come in contact with Deathroot. It's grotesque maybe to those of Erd Tree faith, but maybe someone like Banished Knight Oleg. No, he's down for it. He's down for it. This guy, he got an Erd Tree burial. He was fine for it. This dragon worshiper, he's not. We're thinking dragon worship is also part of Sunrealm, but maybe it's the Sunrealm is anything that is under the sun. Maybe that not everyone has to worship dragons under the Sunrealm. So let's look at his dialogue again. He marked the location, hidden gateway. Okay, we're not going to go there yet. We'll talk about Garank, Beast Clergyman, all that. Later. But what is interesting, he says, I have a matter in my... I have sparted the mark of the centipede here in the village. Now, the centipede, the golden centipede is a dissected remains of a centipede, kept as a fetish of Golden Order fundamentalists. This guy, most likely, is a Golden Order fundamentalist, much like the statue... We found these at a statue of Radigan in the Weeping Peninsula. Especially the hunters of those who live in death. So he's a hunter of those who live in death. So he's a Golden Order fundamentalist. As such, they're found near churches and similar. This is a golden centipede, the dissected remains of a golden centipede, kept as a fetish for Golden Order fundamentalists. The mark of a centipede is an ill-omened symbol that should not be. It shouldn't exist. Someone or something threatens the sanctity of the Golden Order and must be eradicated. Now, we know that from Melina, when she first meets us, we're told to seek the Elden Ring. It's our duty as a Tarnished to seek the Elden Ring. But Melina tells us that to seek the Elden Ring would violate the Golden Order. Bernal told us that the Golden Order collapsed. We don't really know what the Golden Order is. It's a gold order. What does that mean? Is it the order that things happen? Is it the order of things that should be? What does order really mean? We don't know what that exactly means yet. We have the Flame of Chaos, and chaos is opposite of order, but, is that related to it? Who knows? But someone or something threatens the sanctity of the Golden Order and must be eradicated. So this fundamentalist, using language such as eradicated, that is very... That type of language is... it kind of looks like a little Erd trees on there. Anyway, sorry. That type of language, that's gross language. The term, these things should be eradicated. That I don't like that language. I don't like that language. That makes me not like this. He's a fundamentalist, Golden Order fundamentalist. This should be eradicated. That's kind of vile talk, very vile. But he found the mark of the centipede here. And that's what his business probably pretends to, finding the mark of the centipede. So let's look through this town. Let's try and see what type of... We're going to say Summonwater Village is a Sunrealm village. Well, here we go. Look at this. They live in death. But there is, I think, they're not mindless zombies. There's still some intelligence here. Look, we have a militiaman and maybe a death priest of some sort. Their own type of religion, but they're still trying to exist within their world. And we're going to just mess that all up by by killing them. We're going to be very hostile towards them. But should we be? What did they do wrong? Because, they don't exist, like, this is sorry, your culture is out, like, are they bad? Are they evil? Could they be any more evil than the Erd Tree who needs to consume people? I don't know. Now, we learned from turtleneck meat. Considered especially nutritious ingredient in the south of the lands between. We got some turtles over here. Locked in the Summonwater Village. We have 2 turtles outside. Imp statues. So there's some that imp culture. Or like the use of using imps. More turtles. They were being protected in here perhaps, so no one would eat them. People in the south like to eat turtle meat. And what do we find inside? The green turtle talisman. Talisman, the shape of green turtle. Turtles are known for as a nutrition ingredient, symbol of inexhaustible power. Again, green power. We're getting that. Actually, look at the back of I've never noticed this before. Wow, this is so cool. Look at the back of the turtle. Look at the back of the Viridian medallion. There we go. That's the symbol of power right there. These, like, looping roots, kind of. This flower, I guess, is the symbol of life. This is the symbol of power. See it? That's so cool. So, they're a nutrition ingredient. Love eating turtles. However, those who hold turtles to be wise creatures consider the practice of eating their meat to be barbarous. The wise turtle is very common through a lot of cultures because they live for a very long time. The tortoise. I don't know if I've mentioned it before. George R. R. Martin loves turtles. He loves tortoises. He, Game of Thrones was... When he was a kid, I probably mentioned this story before on here. When he was a kid, growing up poor in Bayonne, New Jersey, he was in public housing, public federal housing. I think it was federal housing. And they weren't allowed pets in where he lived, like cats or dogs, so he could have turtles. But the turtles would, like, eat and kill each other. So he played pretend that they were like kings and queens and fighting dragons, and they were essentially doing their own little Game of Thrones. And that's kind of like where it all comes from, like from his turtles. So when you kind of see turtles in a George R. R. Martin story, you should think of him specifically. And perhaps we will see a wise turtle. And we can combine it to him. In the Wildcard series, there is a character called the Great and Powerful Turtle, which is like his, like it is him. All right, more of those who live in death. There's no Mariner here, but these guys are still hanging out. Fortunately for them, maybe we feel bad for them. Maybe, we started as a prophet. Maybe we'll have a turn of faith, and we'll feel bad for these Sunrealm guys. We are a Golden Order guy, but we don't really know what the Golden Order is. We just have that blind faith. So we'll have to see where our role-playing takes us. Oh, and there's Trina's lilies. Some of St. Trina's followers have been here. What is St. Trina trying to tell us? To look, to listen, to think. When we see these kind of spires... Look at those spires on top of there. Think Sunrealm. Think those who live in death. Think of a culture that was here before the Erd Tree, before the war that the Erd Trees had. Now, yeah, I think that's practically all of Limgrave. I don't think there's anything else here. How exciting is that? Oh, we have more castle up here, Summonwater Village. This is a very nice village. Over there is a graveyard. Here is a church. Or, is this a church? This could be a church. Do they have anything in here? It's kind of spectacular how, what do these messages say? Praise the beautiful. Wow. I need your feathers. Oh, wait, they can fly. I thought they couldn't fly. Huh. I thought they couldn't fly. Oh, boy, okay. Alright, let's keep going forward. Okay, if I put this on, do I heavy roll? No, okay, I don't have to use Radigan's Scarsuit now. I can be a turtle. So this is coming up to Caelid. I don't think we're going to be doing Caelid. Is it possible to get into... Is this Gold Road too? Oh yeah, this is Gold Road. Look at that. Gold Road, named by the nameless singer. You should watch a video on it. And you know what? We're going to say this is Sunrealm Road. So Caelid is this way. We are not going to be Oh, the moon came out. It's getting scary. We're not going to go over that wall. But I want to look at Lord Godfrey at last, at the end of his campaign, his golden armies unvanquished and unbound, yet finds grace lost, tattered and faded. So Godfrey's campaign ended over here in the Caelid region, and then we hear from Marika talking to him in an echo from here, and here, the Tarnished losing grace and being banished. I don't want us to get to trigger Melina yet. But we are going to come into this church. Now this church, it's the Smoldering Church. It's burning. We will look more... Uh-oh. Anastasia, Tarnished Eater. She's dressed like a maiden. She got a butchering knife. She's sending her soul out to kill us. And, we're going to talk about more of this place later. Oh my god, she might actually just... Oh, I think I gotta get out of here. Yeah, oh no. Okay. My power went out. Anastasia ate me. That means this is the... that's the end of the episode. My computer is just running on battery right now. So let's do the thing. Pachow!